This is the DVR monitor I've been using at my races. I like it because it has the diversity receiver built into it. It's an Eachine. I did a review on this a while back. The only downside I've ever had about this monitor is that it doesn't have a DVR in it. The antennas are very sensitive and it seems to work real well. Well, I tried another monitor. It was a white one. I did a review on it here a while back. And today, I got a new monitor. This is the same one as this one, except for it has the DVR built into it. So I'm gonna take a look at this one a little bit closer today. The only differences are on these is like, this one has, this is the original one. You can see the names on the buttons that are on there. This one is almost the same thing, except for the buttons are a little bit differently named. And that's just because it has the DVR functions built into it. But anyway, this one, like I said, this is an old one. This has been working great, and the sensitivity on the receivers is excellent. Hopefully this one's the same way, and hopefully the only difference between this one and the other one is that this has a DVR. We'll take a look. Both of these monitors have a feature I didn't really realize that it had. Let's say you're racing, and this is your point of view, and you can kind of see me, I'm right here. Here's a quadcopter in your view, and I'm on the diversity input right here. And if you're flying, this is what you want. You want to fly with diversity, so it switches back and forth between your two antennas. Then you can come over here and you can hit the source button and flip over to your first receiver. Now it's just listening off to channel A. And when you're on just the first receiver, you can have it on a different channel than you do your diversity. Then you can hit the source again, and it flips over to my B channel. Now it's looking at a different signal again. And I can go back, now it's on the AV input, and I can go back to my diversity where I'm flying. Now the big advantage is that you can fly on your diversity, and you don't have to actually change channels to watch your friends when they're flying. You just come in here, hit the source button, and it flips over to the first antenna, and now we're watching a different channel. If they crash, we can hit the source button again, watch over here, now we're watching a different channel. And at the same time, the nice thing about this whole thing is that you never change channels off of your channel for the diversity input. You can change the channel if you want, but this nice thing about this is it can switch through 3 different channels real easily without having to actually change any channels. All you're doing is just changing the source. So now we're gonna do a little testing between these two. This is the one without the DVR, this is the one with the DVR. And you can see here, the one with the DVR has this directional antenna, which is an advantage, but that's because I don't have 4 other antennas. I should have ordered a few more when I ordered this monitor, but I didn't. So anyway, we're going to hopefully be looking at the same thing. Yes, we are, in both of these monitors. And I'm gonna try to fly this over a little bit out of the way, with some obstacles between us and the monitor, and hopefully we can see which one actually flies, which one receives a little better. Boy, these pictures are really nice. The one without the DVR seems to be doing a little bit better reception. Well, not now. And now the directional antenna is probably helping a little bit more. Oh, here comes the car. Get out of the way.
1 minute.
They both seem to get a little flicker every now and then. Not that one has like excessively more than the other. Here, we'll try to go down this direction, and we'll go a little bit further than I like to go. The directional antenna is not pointing this direction. That's probably why it's flickering a little bit more. But the other one seems to be doing okay. Boy, that's a long ways down there. We'll get over here by these trees, see if it makes it any worse. All right, well, look good. They look like they're doing about the same in terms of reception quality. This one gets a little bit more flicker, but I don't know if that's because the directional antenna is, you know, not helping because it's pointing the wrong direction. But on this one here, since this is the one with the DVR, one other thing we can do is a record. So when you're ready to record, you need to push this rec pick button. On the other monitor, it's called, this is actually the source button, but they combined the menu and the source here and made this the record pick button. So we go ahead and we hold this down for just a second, and there's a little red light up there, a little red circle, means it's recording. So now if we go ahead and fly with this, we'll fly it around a little bit, then we'll see if we can watch the video from it. All right, so there it's landed. We go ahead and hit this button again. Has a little lock icon, which I think it means it's writing the file to the disk or to the micro SD card, and then it's done. So let me go ahead and get the quad back over here. So to play it back, we go ahead and we hold down, we push the menu, whoop, don't push the menu button because then it's the source. We hold it down and it flips over to DVR. We push this plus, which means okay, I guess. And so here's the video. If you want to play, if you want to go through them, you can hit the menu button again, and it goes through the different numbers here. Like there's number 26, blah blah blah. There's another race I was at. There's another flying video here. But we'll go ahead and we'll go back. Oops. So here we're back at this one, and I go ahead and I push the, I think it's this record button, and it should start playing. Yep, there it goes. You can see the little clock is counting up now, and hopefully it will take off here in a second. There it goes. And the playback on this is pretty horrendous right now. It is really, really choppy. But that might be because I have a slow micro SD card. It's one of my 8 gig ones from a while back. Now, I don't know if this is really this choppy like this all the time or not, but this is pretty bad. But it's watchable, and it's kind of like slow motion. I'm not getting a lot of frames per second out of this. Like I said, I am using an old micro SD card, so I give it a little bit of chance that that's the issue with it. Anyway, if you want to go back to the monitor again where you're going to fly, band plus. There we go. All right, so that gets us back out, and we can go back into the diversity. There's the AV input. Anyway, back to the regular receiver again. So this is the LCD5802D, and the D stands for DVR. If you buy the one without the D, you're not getting a DVR, and I think this one's like 10 bucks more than the other one. So I would say spend the 10 bucks and get the DVR. It's a lot of fun. And this is the box that it came in. Inside this box, you get kind of the standard stuff you normally get. The TV comes wrapped inside a plastic little sleeve. You get the screen cleaner, little microfiber, the manual that says how to run the whole thing, and you get a carrying case, little carrying case like this. Comes with the power adapter here, and a power adapter to plug into an external battery if you want to. And it also comes with 2 rubber duck antennas, and it also has, here it is, has the AV output on it, or AV input, so you can run your Fat Shark goggles off of this. Comes with this side of the RCA jacks, so you can plug them into your goggles or into, there we go, into an adapter to plug them into your goggles. But comes with all the cables you need and everything ready to go. So this is the first DVR monitor I got, and this one has a couple advantages over this one. Well, first of all, it's white, so I could write down the frequencies and the channels on the back. So that way I knew which channel I was on, depending on, I knew what to put the letters on, depending on what the person was flying, what frequency they're on. This one being black, you can't really write on it, but if you had a piece of paper, you just tape it on if you wanted to. Anyway, this one has a little bit better DVR playback functionality. The software in here is designed a little bit better. It has the buttons on here are marked with playback words so that you can actually see what you're supposed to do, whereas on this one it's a big guessing game. I think what happened was Eachine made this, and it was a big success without the DVR, and they had planned to put the DVR in, but it must not have been ready, and so they just left the software off of it. And then when they made this, it was ready to go, but the software wasn't quite where it should be. Hopefully they'll release some firmware updates that update the DVR playback, because it's pretty bad. The other advantage, this thing has this little solid, little small window on it, you know, a little sunshade. That's kind of an advantage if you're holding it and walking around, because it's not, you know, falling down like this one does. If it's sitting on a tripod, this is a little bit better because this one doesn't block out as much sun as this one would. The other big difference between these is this one has very, very sensitive receivers inside here, and so you get a good clear picture even when you get obstacles between this and the quadcopter. This one, not so much. These receivers in here are kind of weak, and they get broken up by about anything, any kind of obstacles. Trees, leaves, houses, any garages, anything breaks it up pretty good. One other difference between these monitors is this one uses a full-size SD card. Even though the little picture looks like a micro, it's not a micro, it's a full size. This one does use a micro, and you can see it, it's right there. It's called the TF card, right there by my finger. and it works pretty well. The only problem I've ever had with this is when I first started playing with it, the screen like locked up and it was black, and I'd push the buttons and it would say it was changing channels, but I couldn't see anything. I'd hold down the power button, it wouldn't power off. I'd go into menu, say power off, it wouldn't power off. The only thing you can do is over here on the side, right here, there's a little hole that you can poke a paper clip in there and reset the thing. It just turns it off, turn it back on, and it's back to normal. It's only done it to me once. So, you know, whatever. Like I said, hopefully they'll make firmware updates to fix that into DVR playback stuff. In conclusion, this is the LCD5802D. I really like this. Comes with this awesome screen shade, which probably didn't even know I even had it on there. Anyway, it comes with the screen shade on there, comes with all the other stuff. The antennas are awesome. It seems like it works just as well as the original TV without the DVR, which is a plus, because usually the ones with the DVR pick up channels a little worse than all the other ones do. Anyway, 5802 LCD5802D. If you have any questions about this, leave in the comments. I'll try to help you out as best I can. I also have some links to the old review I did of the other one in the description, and I'll have another link to the other monitor with the DVR in it I had also in the description, and a couple links to the quadcopter I use to fly around. Anyway, questions, leave in the comments. Try to help you out best I can. Thanks for watching.